Part 1: The Past and Present of Insulin. For more than a century, insulin has been a lifeline, a discovery that turned what was once a fatal disease into a manageable condition. In 1921, when Frederick Banting and Charles Bess first isolated insulin, the world witnessed a medical miracle. For people with diabetes, especially type 1, insulin was not just a drug, it was survival in a bottle. But as the decades passed, this miracle also became a dependency. Millions of people around the world began their daily ritual, checking blood sugar, injecting insulin, balancing food, stress, and life itself. The routine was relentless, unforgiving, and for many, overwhelming. Today, more than 540 million adults live with diabetes worldwide. The majority have type 2 diabetes, a condition where the body becomes resistant to insulin or cannot use it effectively. Around 10% live with type 1 diabetes, an autoimmune disorder in which the body's own immune system destroys insulin-producing beta cells in the pancreas. Despite a century of progress, from animal insulin to synthetic analogs, from syringes to insulin pens and pumps, the underlying challenge has remained the same. People must manually balance glucose and insulin every single day. But in 2025, the story is changing. For the first time, we are beginning to ask a question once thought impossible. Are we nearing the end of insulin dependency? Across laboratories, biotech startups, and hospital clinics, scientists are rewriting the rules of diabetes management. Artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, stem cell biology, and digital health are converging, creating a new generation of treatments that may not just control diabetes, but potentially eliminate the need for insulin injections altogether. Part 2: Revolution in Type 2 Diabetes Treatment. Type 2 diabetes has always been about insulin resistance. The body has an inability to use its own insulin effectively. For decades, doctors relied on medications that helped stimulate insulin release or improve sensitivity. Yet, the disease kept progressing, often leading to lifelong insulin use. Then came a breakthrough that changed everything: GLP-1 receptor agonists. Drugs like Ozempic and Mounjaro became household names almost overnight. Originally designed to control blood sugar, they revealed a surprising side effect: significant weight loss. These medications mimic a natural hormone called GLP-1, which signals the brain to feel full and slows digestion. The result: lower blood sugar levels and reduced appetite. In 2025, newer dual and triple-action GLP-1 drugs are redefining what's possible. Some not only mimic GLP-1 but also target GIP and glucagon receptors, offering unprecedented metabolic control. Clinical trials show that many patients can maintain normal blood sugar without insulin, even after years of dependence. Parallel to this revolution, another class of drugs, SGLT2 inhibitors, is quietly transforming diabetes care. Medications such as Jardiance and Farxiga help the kidneys flush out excess glucose through urine. Beyond controlling blood sugar, they protect the heart and kidneys, two of diabetes' most vulnerable targets. Together, GLP-1 agonists and SGLT2 inhibitors are doing more than treating symptoms. They reshaping the body's metabolism. For many with type 2 diabetes, insulin injections are becoming the last resort, not the first. But medication isn't the only frontier. In 2025, digital therapeutics, smartphone-based AI-guided platforms are emerging as powerful tools. Using continuous glucose monitors, fitness trackers, and machine learning algorithms, these systems can now predict glucose fluctuations hours in advance. They offer real-time dietary guidance, stress alerts, and personalized exercise plans. The result: fewer spikes, fewer injections, and a level of glucose stability once thought impossible. And beyond the devices and drugs, the most profound shift is biological. Researchers are now developing gene editing and stem cell therapies for type 2 diabetes, approaches that may permanently reset the body's ability to respond to insulin. Some early clinical studies are already showing that by reprogramming specific liver cells or using CRISPR-based gene edits, the body can regain insulin sensitivity and even begin producing insulin again naturally. For the first time, type 2 diabetes, once called a chronic progressive disease, may no longer have to progress at all. Part 3: Breakthroughs in Type 1 Diabetes and the Road Ahead. While Type 2 diabetes is seeing dramatic improvements, The greatest challenge remains type 1, where the immune system itself destroys the pancreas' ability to make insulin. But even there, hope is rising. In 2025, artificial pancreas systems have reached a level of sophistication few imagined a decade ago. These systems, powered by AI algorithms, connect continuous glucose monitors directly to insulin pumps. They calculate and deliver insulin doses automatically, 24 hours a day, without user input. For many, this means no more constant finger pricks, no more manual injections, a self-regulating loop that keeps blood sugar within a healthy range almost all the time. The latest generation of closed-loop systems, such as hybrid devices developed by Tandem and others, are now combining dual hormone delivery, not only insulin but also glucagon to mimic the pancreas even more closely. Yet, the ultimate goal remains clear: to free patients from insulin altogether. That's where stem cell therapy enters the story. Companies like Vertex Pharmaceuticals and ViaCyte have made groundbreaking progress using pluripotent stem cells, cells that can become any type in the body. Scientists can now grow insulin-producing beta cells in the lab. When implanted into patients, these cells begin to produce insulin naturally, responding to blood glucose just like a healthy pancreas. Early human trials are showing astonishing results. Some patients have gone months, even a year, without needing insulin injections after a single treatment. But one major obstacle remains: the immune system. Even if we replace the lost cells, the body's immune response may destroy them again. Through Solbetis, researchers are developing immune protective capsules, microscopic barriers that allow nutrients and insulin to pass through but block immune cells. Others are exploring gene-edited cells that are invisible to immune attack. Beyond that, scientists are experimenting with smart insulin formulations that activate only when blood sugar rises and switch off when it falls. Imagine a single injection lasting days or even weeks, automatically adjusting to your body's needs. Early prototypes, based on glucose-responsive nanoparticles, are now entering late-stage development. And as we stand in 2025, these innovations converge into a single vision: a world where insulin, as we can know it, may no longer define life with diabetes. Part 4. The human impact and future outlook. Every new therapy brings not only science, but also hope. For millions of parents caring for children with type 1 diabetes, or adults balancing work, diet, and constant monitoring, these breakthroughs mean freedom. Freedom from fear, from routine, from the silent stress of managing every meal and every night. Yet, as with all revolutions, there are challenges. Cost remains a significant barrier. Advanced biologics, AI devices, and stem cell therapies are expensive, and access is uneven across the globe. Ethical debates over gene editing, cell modification, and data privacy also shape how quickly these technologies can reach those who need them most. But if history teaches us anything, it's that innovation, once proven, eventually spreads. The same was true for insulin in 1922. What began as an experimental treatment soon became the standard of care worldwide. A century later, we are witnessing the next great leap. Insulin will always remain one of medicine's greatest discoveries, but in 2025, it is no longer the only hope. From smart insulin and AI-driven devices to stem cell regeneration and gene therapies, the future of diabetes treatment is no longer about control. It's about restoration. And perhaps, one day soon, when a child is diagnosed with diabetes, the word insulin may not even be part of the conversation. Until then, the world watches, hopeful, inspired, and determined. Because the end of insulin isn't just the end of an era, it's the beginning of a cure.